guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. For those of you that are actually going to watch this, and I know that there's not going to be a lot of high numbers on this, but I'm going to put this rumor out there that maybe, just maybe, I spent my entire morning on the phone with electronic product design and spent my whole morning on the phone with a Conco. And I think I'm going to build some stuff. I'm going to build a set of 3000s, a twin set, actually, I do believe. One's going to be called the Demon, the other one's going to be called the Exorcist. And that means nothing in this video today, but being that it's about 5 months from now because of the length of lead time on the parts for the transformers, I'm going to just make a mental note. That's what I actually spent most of my morning on. But today we're going to talk about Mr. Steve's little 2-pill here. This is a very customized little build. Make sure I got everything set up here. Turn the striker on. Power supplies are on. Oh, I'm going to turn the radio off over here. Kind of a custom little build for my buddy. He needs this to kick up his striker. Now, he's got himself one of them badass little derail strikers, you know, like the $700 strikers. And he's got himself a fairly decent little box over there, but it doesn't take anything more than about 300 watts of drive. So with the striker hitting that box, he's only getting, you know, just a breath of the power out of that amplifier he can get. So he asked me, a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that, a long time ago, to build this thing for him. And then we had a bunch of other projects come up, and it just hasn't been able to come to fruition. And as time finally came, so I said, man, I'm going to get this done. And we're just going to go do it. We're going to have fun. We're going to get this done real quick. I should have taken the lid off this. Let me slide this over here. Whoop. Okay. So, Mr. Steve. This is a straight 2-pill. And it's fully biased and crossed over. And the reason we've got it in such a big cabinet is that, well, I didn't have one of the smaller ones, and I thought it'd be cool to build something in this big of a cabinet. It's been a while since I've done it. When I first started out, I was building 1x2s and 2x4 cabinets. This is what this is, a 2x4 cabinet in a straight line. This was originally, intentionally, this cabinet was going to be for me personally. I was going to build up my personal 2x4 in here. And I just give up. I'm never going to own my own 2x4 ever again. I'll build one for myself. I do a quick little video on it and show it to you guys. And then somebody calls me up and offers me an insane amount of money, and I sell it every single time. So I just give up. I just grabbed this cabinet because it's what I had. But the upsides to having this big of a cabinet is literally unlimited key down time. The heatsink on this amplifier runs from this screw to this screw. And to give you guys an idea in size, this is your standard 2-pill heatsink that we can get. This little heebie-jeebie, that little thing, isn't that cute? So this really isn't enough. This is like maybe one transistor. So we can go and get this style of cabinet too, which is a 1x2 cabinet, and then it's forced air cooled. Okay, where this particular cabinet that holds this board and this heatsink is not. It's a forced air cooled cabinet. So I use these exclusively for 2-pills, and I think about everybody else in the world does too. I don't know where the cabinet is for this heatsink. I have no idea where it's gotten off to. So I thought, well, I'm going to grab this 2x4 cabinet. And I'm not going to lie, it's quite nice to have a lot of room to work in. Over here, it gets a little tight. She's a little tight. But, yeah. Transmit receive relay, bias relay, sideband delay, keying circuit. This is the thing everybody's going to think is interesting, but this is here for a reason. So if we're shooting for our goal, okay, our end goal is to make about 300 watts of power, right? We're going to say that's our end goal over here is 300 watts. And our drive input's almost 100 watts. I kind of touched on this the other day in a video I did for a guy where he's got himself a hot like 80 watt radio and he's running it into a 2x4. Well, as I thoroughly covered, that'll overrun a 2x4. Especially taking into account I put 2879s in there, and that was to split the drive difference. And I really thoroughly covered that. Well, I grabbed another one of these RF Parts 6 dB attenuators, put a little bit of a heatsink fin on the thing, soldered it down, brought it in, built my standard 2-pill, built a biasing circuit. It's so nice to have everything all spread out. It just looks pretty all spread out. It's just pretty. So, built the standard biasing circuit, and we're off to the races. Let me put the tin on the, well, you know what? Let's, I want to run this without the tin. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's do our ambient air test here. Our amp is 66 degrees, our bias resistor is 66 degrees, and our attenuator is 65.5 degrees. Needless to say, the fat kid out here runs a little hot. I like it chitty. Okay, so 1,000 watt slug and peak, 1,000 and average, 5 watt slug and reverse back from the bird, 10,000 watt dummy load. 5 watt slug between the striker and our little 2-pill. So first let me show you drive. We'll stick with the theme of things here. That's 80 watts of drive. Now, I'm here to tell you, without this attenuator in here, this is a 500 watt box, okay? But we're not shooting for that. We are shooting for around 300. Remember, specifically what we're trying to shoot up for is 300 watts. Now, I can already hear it, even though I've built thousands upon thousands of these things. I can already hear some hater out there. Man, can you believe it? BBI built himself a 2-pill the other day and it only did 300 watts. He doesn't know what he's doing. If you only knew how big of a dickbag you sound like and look like when you think and look and talk like that, it's silly. I made it very clear. If you can't understand what we're shooting for here, just go ahead and stop the video and unsubscribe and move on to somebody else, because well, custom shop, that's kind of what we do. So anyhow, with 80-90 watts of drive, let's do this. Now, for those that don't know, we're on our 1,000 watt scale, which means this bottom set of numbers add a 0. This little hash mark right down the middle between the 2 or the 20 and the 40 is 300 watts. So we're on 14 volts. Pulling about 38 amps. 310 watts, like a brick wall. That's with the striker. Striker doesn't even know an antenna's there because of this attenuator. So now, let's see what we got for temps. Got 74 on the amp. The attenuator's at about 94, 97. And the bias load resistor is about 111 degrees. So, knowing that, I grabbed one of my JMC about 1 amp fans. Now this is the quietest high flow fan I've got. And I was thinking I'd make it funny and I'd put like a little jet turbine fan on top of this thing and, you know, I thought, no. See, I live to tease Mr. Steve. I like him a lot. A very good personal friend of mine. And all my friends will tell you I have an insanely twisted, sick sense of humor. Okay? And I love to joke and play around. Send glitter bombs in the mail, that kind of thing, you know. I'm a prankster, and I live for it. I think it's funny, but he has waited so long for this that, let's just put it together, get it out the door to him. Now, he is going to get one of them special stickers that I can only get to send to one of my friends. The one that says, if you break this seal, you're fucked. Goodbye monetization. Right there. Only get to send those to certain friends. Because I think it's funny. I personally think it's funny. So, let me slap 4 more screws in this thing. And the other thing I need to know, and I gotta call Mr. Steve real quick, is I need to know if we want to put rubberized feety on this thing. Alright. Let's call him real quick. Let's have some fun here. God, I got 12 missed phone calls already. I've only been shooting this video for a minute. Oh, man. Mr. Steve.
Hello.
Hey, Camel Toe, you're on video.
What?
I said, Camel Toe, you're on video.
I can't see no video.
Right. Hey, do you want rubberized feety on the bottom of this little thing or no?
That's your deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be on top of my bench.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. I'm going to go back to shooting this thing.
Okay, man, thanks.
All right, quit being so gay. Get your loads. Quit backing up and taking loads in the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Later, bye. Okay. Let's finish this puppy out. Let's get this done, get this over with, and let's get it out the door. Right now, everybody in video land's out there going, God, BBI, this is so lame. I just want to hear how loud it is when the fan's on. Well, you can't go to the party and stay sober. You just can't do it. Got so potted like a rock star. Okay. So, last scoob. And then we can flip it over, we'll turn it on. That's it. That's all she wrote. There's nothing to it. So, at the end of the day, I said, under that old Model T was the place she first showed it to me. It was big and black and she called it a crack, but it looked like a man holding me. She must have been a brunette. So under that power pole, or, yeah, let's see. I screwed up. Let's try this again, because it doesn't matter how long I'm keyed down. So under the old Model T was the place she first showed it to me. It was big and black and she called it her crack, but it looked like a man holding me. So I pulled out my old power pole. I know, don't quit my day job. And I slid it inside her black bed home. As she began to scream, I poured on that cream. In the color of the old Model T. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, now the reason we keyed this up so long is not just so you could listen to me talk, as I want to show you inside that this thing heats up, but because we're moving such a volume of air through the dang thing, our transistors are not even warm. They're barely even getting turned on. And remember, we're talking on a hunky heatsink that is literally this long and this wide. So there's no way we're going to max saturate that heatsink and we're going to get the exhaust air temperature on this thing to get up past maybe 80, 90 degrees, depending on what its input air is. So, what I'm saying to you, Mr. Steve, is be very careful about not having to worry about not having to worry about how long this thing is keyed down for. So let's see, you're going to hook this into your BBI built 120 amp power supply, driven by your BBI DAO key, running into your BBI final box, running into your BBI suggested audio processing with a D-Rail radio. Huh. You know what? Hold on a second. Let's do this. About 100 little birdies, okay? I have not tried this. Let's go over here. All right. We are going to hook up the D-Rail radio. So needless to say, at the beginning of this video, what I was talking about, now that we're coming to the tail end of this video, is that both of the things that I was wanting to build the twins of already have been taken care of. People have already stepped forward, they wanted to get them. So now it's just up to me to build it. So we're going to have another one of them like 4 or 5 hour longer videos coming out where I show all the intimate details, and we're going to talk about how to spec the transformer and the reason that we have to use electronic product design and we want to use electronic product design. Going to be a lot of topics covered in this video coming up. So you're just now getting to start hearing me talk about it. So we got D-Rail radio hooked up. Hello. Just out of curiosity, I'm wondering if it'll do more than 100 bird. Nope, makes 200 watts peak and about 100 bird itself. So, Striker is the way to go. Well, Mr. Steve, I hope you're happy. This thing is all set up. Remember, when you're in sideband mode, you must turn on the sideband switch. Otherwise, the relays are going to go... and then they're going to wear out and we're going to have a problem. So, on that note, gentlemen, appreciate y'all tuning in to watch me put the final little touches on this thing for Mr. Steve. Now, Mr. Steve is so jonesing for this little box that I've got to hurry up, run it over to the UPS store, and we're going to send it overnight, which I can only guess how much the bill is going to be. So on that note, I got to say, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching this crazy chalk show that I call, well, the U McGargler Channeler. So on that note, gentlemen, my name is BBI. And without a shadow of a doubt, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. Come check us out, www.bbiamps.com. Come find me on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. And if this is your first time watching this Dog and Pony show, click subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification button. I got to get, gentlemen. I appreciate every single one of you, and thank you. Now I got to go spend the next 4 to maybe 5 hours talking on the phone. Yay. All right, we'll see ya.